All right, so hi, welcome. Thanks for joining. Props that you'll need today: chair or windowsill or like a countertop, just for some support with your hands. Blocks, you really only need one. So like a book, a hardcover book, some kind of a box would work fine if you don't have a block. And then something, a soft prop. So I have a ball, but if you have like a rolled up towel or a dense pillow, that would work fine too. And then hand weights optional. So let's get our playlist started and meet me on your back. So I'm going to do, just for a couple of deep breaths, I'm going to have butterfly legs just so we can start to open up through the inner thighs and the hips and stuff. So maybe you close your eyes and just start to take a couple deep breaths. Like really slowing down and taking in as much air as possible, letting it out completely. This helps the body relax and prepare. And it also helps you mentally get more in the zone, right? You made it to your mat. That's an awesome accomplishment. So let's honor yourself and like get through some work. So we're gonna start. We're just gonna get right into core. So bringing the knees together, knees pointed up to the sky. Take another deep breath. Let your belly rise, and then as you exhale, contract all those muscles down toward the mat and lock them there. Arms are gonna reach up, and we're gonna lift up for 2 counts and lower back down. So just a crunch, starting pretty slow. Don't worry about lifting too high, right? That's never something we want to worry about. We just want to find some work through the core, waking up those muscles. Try not to lift from your neck. If you'd rather have your hands behind your head, that's fine. Notice if your core muscles, as always, are popping up versus pulling down. Good. A couple more like this, and then we'll go into double time, little single counts. Here we go. So it's a lift, lower, lift. And so you're not lowering down all the way, probably. Your shoulders and everything stay lifted. So really contracting down the center of your core. Breathe. Keep rooting down through the feet. Gaze up high on the wall. Last 4, 3, 2, and hold it up high. Arms start to push down. So pushing to the beat. A little bit of a Pilates kind of inspiration there. Breathe. And then like actively press down with the palms. So arms are reaching and you're pushing down. Good. Pull that low belly down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lay back down. Take a breath. Maybe you kind of like roll the hips side to side. Just let that go. Floating the shins parallel to the ground. Knees directly over the hips. Again, breathe in, let the belly rise. As we exhale, draw the belly down toward the mat, lock it there. Same series with the shins lifted. So starting with the slow crunches, 2 counts both ways. Make sure your breath is steady. Make sure your knees aren't creeping in closer to you. Maybe toes are pointed. Breathe. Couple more of these, then we'll go into those singles. Here we go. Remember, staying lifted probably. You need to do what's best for you. So take a break when you need. Last 8 of these. 4, 3, 2, stay lifted. Start to push those hands down. Actively press, reach through the fingertips. Really crunch the core, breathe through it. Here we go, last 8. And 4, 3, 2, lay back, legs up straight. You can keep a soft bend in the knees, but then lift the hips up and down. It's not really about how high the hips lift. It's about that low squeeze in the core. You probably can't even tell that my hips are lifting, like they're barely lifting. It's more about legs going straight up, not letting them rock back toward you. 8 more of these. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in, circle them around. Then plant the feet down, walk heels close to your bum, hip bone distance apart. We're heading up into a bridge pose just to stretch all that out. So really press down through the feet in order to lift up. And let your breath expand the whole front side of the body. Come on down easy. Again, hug the knees in, start to rock and roll up and down the spine. We're gonna come on up to like a tabletop. Here's where you're gonna use your one block. I'm gonna use mine on the highest setting, like the tallest. You can adjust yours. It just depends on like the length of your limbs, basically. My block is gonna be under my right hand. So I'm not gonna put my hand directly under my shoulder because that angle for my wrist is a little too much. So I'm gonna have mine more out at an angle, okay? Right knee right under the hip, left leg extended, okay? Then from there, it's a slow lift of this left leg. So 2 counts each way. You want everything in a straight line here for now. Pull the belly in. And we're really just trying to use the outside of the leg to lift. Couple more of these, and then we're gonna cut this range of motion in half. Okay, right now. So that might also mean you move a little bit faster. Keep the core steady. We don't wanna take this into the low back. So that means really pull the belly in. And you can keep a soft bend in the knee. We never wanna lock out the knee. Good, yes. So now we're gonna cut this movement in half, tiny lifts here, lift, lift. So super small. And instead of just lifting, see if you can find more of a push up. So toes are pointed. You could have your feet flexed if that's better for you. Either way though, I want the leg to stay active. Belly in, chest open. Good, push for 8. And 4, 3, 2, keep it lifted. Draw circles to the back, like about baseball size. Really draw strength from your core, steadiness. Like maybe this leg is starting to get a little shaky. That's okay, that's good. Good, last 4, 3, 2, 1, set it down. Now this leg is gonna point diagonally back, so to the back corner of your mat. Slow lift, slow tap. You have to really pull the core in for this one. So again, that you don't take the work into the low back because that's not gonna be comfortable. You'll notice you have to start squeezing your butt here. We're working into the glutes. That's good, focus there. So your leg is pointing diagonally back. Good, cut that motion in half. Really squeeze your butt here. You have to mentally make that shift. It's not just thighs anymore. It's also butt, so squeeze it. Push. Good. Tiny lifts. Finishing out this side strong. Push, push, push. Smaller, squeeze a little bit tighter, lift and hold. Squeeze your butt harder, hold it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Ooh. Shake it out, and then we'll set up other side. So deciding, you know, the angle of this bottom arm, where it feels most stable, most strong for you, and at what height you want your block. Left knee right under the hip, pull the belly in. For now, we're starting with this leg coming straight down. Slow lift. Find your tempo. Pretty common for this second side to be harder because it was just holding us up. So notice that, that's okay. Breathe. So another one of these, and then we're going to cut that in half right here. Here we go. Really mindfully using the outside of the leg. So you might notice, like on this side, my leg is working way lower down. That's all right. Work where you can work. Really draw the core in though. Think about making the torso longer. Reaching through the toes, tiny lifts, little push, push, push. So you really have to, this bottom leg here, also squeeze that butt cheek. That'll help kind of lift you up out of that hip. Good. Last 4, 3, 2, draw those circles. I don't know about you guys, this leg is already like shaking around. Could also be because this is the second time I'm doing this today. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg down and then draw it to the back corner of the mat. So find that diagonal line, slow lift and lower. Coming into glute work zone. So kind of thinking about that. Creating body awareness where you can really pinpoint the muscles you want to work by thinking about them, by squeezing them, isolating them. Good. Now half size. Squeeze that butt, pull the belly in. Think about lengthening low back. We don't want that to overarch. Good, just a couple more of these and then we have tiny lifts and we're done. Good, right here, tiny little presses. Really draw strength from wherever you can. Close your eyes if you need to. Last 8. Breathe and last 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Finale, hold and squeeze. And come on down. Here's where you want to grab your soft prop. Come up to standing. Prop goes between the thighs. You can have one hand on some kind of support if you want. It's not required. Feet right under the hip bones. Lift the heels high, high, high. Knees bend out over the toes. You're still very much upright. Start to squeeze your prop. So you're never fully releasing the squeeze. You're just going from like a medium to a harder squeeze. We want to fire up the inner thighs and we want to do it quickly. Heels stay up as high as you can manage. Low belly pulls in and up. Shoulders down. Good. Keep going right into your next song. Squeeze a little bit harder if you can. Good job, guys. Keep those heels high and really push into the toes. Good. 8 more. Best ones yet. 4, 3, 2. Hold that squeeze. Lower down for 2 counts and lift up for 2 counts. So we never want to straighten the legs all the way. We're keeping them bent. And heels stay high as you can work with. So really feel like your toes gripping into the mat. Nice open chest, shoulders back. Hold it low at your low point, squeeze in here. So bending the knees perhaps just a little bit more. Good. Really letting the thighs burn because we got to move on really quickly after this. Last 8. Best ones yet. 4, 3, 2. Hold it tight. Lower down 2 inches. Heels lift higher. 1 arm up, 2 arms up. Hold it. Finale. Hold it. 8, 7, 6, 5. Lower. 4, 3, 2. And heels down. Prop aside. Wiggle it out quickly. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold down. Halfway lift. And then step back to your high plank. Take the feet wide, mini push-ups down. So single beat. You're really just barely bending the elbows. You're also squeezing your butt. Good job, guys. So imagine the body lowering, moving in one line. We're not dipping the chest down. We're not piking the butt up. Good. 4 more. Now, right hand taps left shoulder, set it down, and switch sides. So this is hard because you're trying not to twist your body. You're also trying to softly place the hands, building control, not like slapping the mat as hard as you can. Slow. Really squeeze your butt. Try not to pike it up. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little toe taps in. Just taking little tiny steps. Good job. Start to cross those steps under you. So right knee toward left arm and so forth. Really crunch them in. Finish strong. Last 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, finale hold. Hold that plank and knees come down, child's pose. Breathe, let it all sink in. Let's actually, let's come all the way down to our bellies. I want to do a little bit of back bending to stretch back out. So, locust pose. You're going to use your core. Actually, you know what? Let's do cobra first. So, you're going to take hands probably off your mat. Tense the fingertips. If you know you have a lot of back flexibility, your hands are going to be more in line with the heart. If you know you don't, your hands are going to be further up, okay? And then you just lift up, feeling no pressure to straighten the arms. And the idea here is that we're drawing the heart center through and up. We're not cranking in the low back, so if that's where you feel it, come down a little bit. And I like to tuck my chin so that the back of my neck is long, but we're lifting the heart. Big breaths there. Come down. Let's do a couple with breath. So inhale to lift and inflate. Exhale, fold. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And come on down. Pressing to tabletop. Grab your weights if you want to use weights for arms. We're going to come up to standing. Feet are going to be all the way together, hips low, kind of a chair pose. What I want you to pay attention to is I want your upper body like upright, basically. I don't want you here. So you're gazing down on the ground ahead of you. Fingers come in like this together. And then you're going to flip them so the tops of the hands are together, palms facing out. So it's a push out and a pull back in. Slow push, slow press. So as you're doing this, shift your weight back into your heels. Stick your butt back. And then focus on creating this arm work. So as we know, 1 and 2 pounds, it's easy to fake it. So you need to press in both directions. Create your resistance. Belly pulls in. Now hold it up, little pushes back. Using the back of the arms, focus there, push. Navel to spine. Maybe you sink back a little bit lower with the bum, push. Good. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now fingers come back in to face each other. Soft bend in the elbows, open for 2, and close for 2. Again, this is an easy one to fake and not really get the work in. So create it, press. Squeeze hard. Nice long neck. Legs all zipped together. Couple more of these and then we'll do some pulses holding arms high. Now lift, little press, press. Try to keep the hands and wrists kind of in line. Find that squeeze, find that work for 8. Keep breathing, heavy in the heels, and it's 4, 3, 2, fingers come back together. This time we're lifting, arms alongside the ears, and then bring them back down in front of you. So if you don't have weights for this, you really need to use your imagination and like press hard. Draw the core in. Again, as always, don't take the work into your low back. Good, slow and steady. Couple more of these. Focus. Now we're gonna hold them up and do like little swimmer, like alternate the arms. So small. Draw the core in though, keeping the arms up overhead. 8, 7, 6, almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and arms down by your side, elbows up, kick them back, bend, extend. So trying to keep the upper arms frozen in space, reaching through the pinkies, pinkies up, belly in. See if you can hug the low belly in more so that you can lengthen the low spine. Hold those pinkies up, little push up, tiny lifts. Trying to keep the arms up away from the hips if you can, shoulders rolled back. Really lifting the arms up as much as you can. 4, 3, 2, lift and hold. Static hold, lift them up, belly in, hold it for 8, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down, weights aside. You can take like a quick arm stretch if you like, that might feel nice. And instead of doing just like a strictly stretchy part right now, I want to do more of a yoga flow so that we can open up our back bends a little bit more so we can practice them for cool down. So let's start, come to the top of your mat. Again, reach up and we'll clasp the hands behind us. Soften the knees, puff up the heart, breathe in. And big slow exhale, bow down. Release the head here. Release the arms down. Maybe you sway side to side, just totally letting the upper body hang down heavy. Find a halfway lift as we breathe in. Stepping back to high plank as we breathe out. Breathing in, shift your weight forward into the fingers, and we'll exhale slowly lower down to our bellies in one line. Now, take your right forearm and plant it to face the left edge of your mat. So you're like lifted up kind of. Left leg is gonna bend. Left arm reaches around back for it. You're reaching for the inside of the foot, guys, with thumbs up. Because what that does is it externally rotates your arm, which is what we want because we want to keep the chest open. So your right forearm is pressing you up and away. You're lifting your heart, drawing it through, and then you can take as much of a quad stretch as you want with the back leg. But all of these things specifically open us up for dancer pose, which I want to get to. And release that leg. We'll set up for the other side. So again, your bottom forearm is really lifting you, and then the heart pulls through. Reaching for the inside of the foot, thumbs up. Drawing it in towards you as much as feels good. But as you breathe, really inhale, expand the chest. And as you exhale, not sinking down. Okay, let that go. You can totally repeat the one-sided thing, or you can opt for bow pose, which I'm going to guide you through. It's holding both legs at the same time. So if that sounds good to you, reaching for both feet from the inside. We're going to keep our knee, we don't want our knees to bow out diagonally, okay? So notice that. Using your core and then pressing foot into hand, hand into foot, you're going to use that resistance to lift yourself up. Same deal. We're breathing here, lifting the heart center, neck is long. And the more you kick your foot into your hands and the other way around, the more lift you're going to get. One more big breath in here. And a slow lower down. You can let the legs windshield wiper side to side. And we'll make our way into downward dog. Downward dog. Pedal out the feet slow here, or do any other movement that feels good. Keeping these soft so you can really press the top of the thigh bones up and back. Right leg lifts up. You can pulse it, you can move it around as always, just making a little bit more space. And then we're going to bend this knee, shift forward, bringing knee to chest, arching the back so that we can step the foot through, coming up for a high lunge, settling in. Get nice and strong with the lower body. Hands clasped behind you, just like we did before. Arms roll back together and we'll lift the heart up. And then we'll slowly bow down to the inside of the front knee, letting even the head hang down. So the feet have to really press down here. You're going to use that press down to rise up, releasing the hands. Let's try that with breath. So breathe in as you reach up. Exhale, find your clasp. Inhale, heart lifts up and away. Exhale, bow down. Inhaling to rise. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Left hand stays down as the right arm peels up for a simple twist. So soften the hips down, really push back through the back heel. Top hand comes down, high plank, breathe in, and exhale, downward dog. Left leg rises right up and move it around. Bend that leg, shifting forward, knee to chest, arch the back, step the foot through, slowly rise, high lunge, strong foundation there. We'll walk through it slow first, so hands clasped behind you, maybe clasping the opposite way, the awkward way. Arms roll together, lifting the heart, and then a slow bow down. Push down to rise up and release the arms. So with breath, breathe in to reach long. Exhale, hands clasp. Inhale, heart puffs up. Exhale, bow down. Pushing down to rise up as we breathe in. And exhale, hands frame the foot. Right hand stays down, left arm peels up. So soften the hips down. Breathe. Top hand comes down, high plank. Take a breath in. And exhale, downward dog. You're going to walk yourself right to a forward fold. And slowly, slowly roll up to standing. So here's where you're going to need your chair or your windowsill or your whatever you're using. You're going to stand like a whole upper body distance away from it. So if you were to hinge forward right from the hips, you'd be at the right distance. You want hips right over the feet, so adjust yourself there. Now, left leg is gonna, you know what, step your right foot more to the center of the mat because we wanna center our weight over the right foot. Left foot draws back. Now, depending on your hamstring flexibility, if this doesn't feel good already, you're gonna lift the torso a little bit so there's less of an angle, okay? So decide where you wanna be, and then left leg lifts and lowers. It doesn't tap down all the way, maybe just about halfway down to the ground. Core has to really wrap around from all sides to find stability. You also want your right leg to be bent a little bit. We're trying to find our left glutes. So start thinking about them, start finding the squeeze, start firing those muscles up. Good, really pulling navel to spine. Now make that motion smaller, tiny pushes. Keeping the butt squeezed the whole time. It acts like the brakes for the legs, okay? So every lift is also a press, it's also a squeeze. There's work happening, basically, is what I'm saying. Keep your neck long. At any point, by the way, if the body gets fatigued, you can come to that higher torso position, okay? Good, 4, 3, 2, and horizontal lines. So bring the leg out and in. Trace a ruler, imagine that. Maybe like 6 to 8 inches. But your toes need to be pointed and you really need to reach back, pulling the belly in. Imagine the body like pulling in opposite directions, nice and long. Keep your butt squeezed for this work. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna bend the leg to 90 degrees. Come knee to knee with it. You can flex your foot here, pushing up for 2 counts, and then bringing it back down, knee to knee. Push hard through the heel, bring it back down. Your standing leg hip is probably talking to you. That's okay. Just takes practice and strength building, and you will build stamina there, I promise. So double time, so make this half size. Push harder through the heel. We want really active flex on that foot. Drawing the belly in more, almost there. 8, push harder, squeeze that butt. 4, 3, 2, and nice long leg, lower and lift. This means we are almost done with this side. Keep squeezing that butt. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift and hold, 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 squeeze, and come on down. So because the standing leg works so hard, let's take figure 4 with the right ankle on top of the left knee. Sit back. Oh, God. Yeah, it does get easier. It's always intense, but it does get, well, no, it doesn't get easier, but you can sustain it longer. So really press your butt back. Breathe into that hip. Let's set up for the other side. Give yourself a little shake. Now, hinging right from the hips. If you're doing the lifted torso version, you could come a little closer. That part doesn't really matter. If you're doing the total fold over, you do want to be more at a 90-degree angle. Everybody's going to have their right leg back, and their left foot is going to move more toward the center of the mat. So you can center your weight, pulling the belly in from all sides. It's a lift and a lower, maybe just about halfway. So start to squeeze your right glutes, whatever you can find. And you know what, too, like as your body gets fatigued, if you need to ever come out and take a break, that's totally fine. You need to listen to your body, challenge in a way that works. Like you know what a good hurt is versus a bad one, right? So finding the squeeze, soften that left knee. Neck is long. Start to find a tiny lift here, tiny pushes. Keep the butt squeezed. Good, super small, super strong. Pointing the back toe. Belly pulls in, lengthening the low back, imagining that happening. 4, 3, 2, horizontal line out and in. Really grounding down through that standing foot, feeling the full base of the foot pressing down for stability. So keep the butt squeezed for this work. We're really pushing out and pulling in, working in both directions. Pull the core in. Settling into the work, really finding it. You guys are doing great. You can get through this. I know you can. 8 more. 7. You got it. Close your eyes if you need to. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knee to knee. Bend the knee. Flex the foot. Belly pulls in. It's a press up for 2 counts. And bring it back down, knee to knee. Push hard. Bring it back down. So lengthen the torso. I just modified myself because my body's tired, right? It's okay. Do what you can do. Really push hard through the heel though. Now, double time. That means make it smaller and push harder. The more you compress through the center of the heel, you'll get more glute work that way. Pull that low belly in though. You can even bring a hand to low belly if you want. Here we go. Make that leg long. Find your tiny lifts and lowers, and here's where we finish. 4, 3, 2, lift and hold. Hold that squeeze, 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 and come on down. So we'll take the left ankle over the right knee this time. Sit way back. Oh God, it feels so good. So our last song of work is now, it's core. So we are gonna make our way down to the mat on your back. We're gonna start with, again, shins floating parallel to the ground. Really draw the belly down, knees directly over the hips as always. Legs are gonna be totally zipped together for now. Pointing your toes, you're just gonna shift your toes, like reaching through the toes, shifting the shins forward just a couple of inches and back. Press. So find a moderate beat here. Notice as you send your legs out and away from you, if your low back pops up off the mat. Keep all those muscle fibers knitting together. Good. So you don't have to move very far for this to be effective. Really reach through the toes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees come back right over the hips, separating the legs. Left leg lowers, lifts back up. Notice how I'm not changing the bend in my left leg at all. I'm lowering from my hip crease, keeping the bend as is. Like floating the sole of the foot above the mat. Not touching, because that might compromise your spine, right? So imagine lowering right from that hip crease. Maybe if you even bring your hand there, you can feel it. And really cinch the core to lift the leg back up. Shoulders down, heavy on the mat. Good, couple more and then we'll switch to the right side. Really squeeze the core to lift back up. Right into the other side. Going for that shaky core, so really challenge yourself. It can be really awesome to close your eyes for core. You can really like get in there. Imagine those muscles working, contracting. Good, just a few more on this side. It's always like get through, because one thing isn't, we're never in one thing for that long. Just look forward to the next thing, we're almost there. Good, last one. You're gonna come up to the forearms, taking knees apart and toes together, little diamond shape, lowering that shape down, lifting back up. So keep the heart lifted, don't sink into the shoulders. Keep that whole shape intact. Use your core. Try not to let the hip flexors take over. It's hard sometimes. Really imagine the core working here. Good. Now, knees come back together. Lift yourself up into a boat pose of any level, right? So you can keep holding on. You could straighten the legs. You could float the arms. Heart lifting no matter what. Doesn't matter. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, and right into butterfly legs folding forward. We did it, guys. So don't skip the cool down. It's the most important part of class. So just take a few breaths, let things start to settle. I feel like it'll be nice to stretch like the inside of the legs. So let's do that. I like to do that through, come to tabletop. I'll show you. So you're going to extend your left leg long directly out to the side, set that foot down, and then back up the booty into like a child's pose. So you've got your left leg extended out, letting the inside of the left leg soften, or at least just breathe into it. Cool. Come on back up. We'll find the other side. So stick that leg out, set it down, and back it up. Of course, you can adjust the placement of the leg if you don't like where you put it initially. Cool. Let's come up. Let's do a little bit of like hamstring and quad. So we'll find a low lunge, right leg forward first, or it doesn't really matter what side you chose. And I'm just scooting my back knee back so that I'm in more of a lunge. So letting hips soften this way first. And then walking the hands back, finding your hamstring stretch. Long spine, square hips. And then rock it forward and back a few times on your own, just whatever pace feels right. We'll meet forward, hands come to the inside of the foot, heel toe that right foot out to the side a little bit, give yourself some room. You can stay here, you could lower down to forearms if you want. I'm gonna point my right foot out at an angle, just to get a little bit deeper, and then you have an option. I think I've done this in class with you guys before. You can press that inner thigh away, rolling to the side edge of the foot, and then maybe reach around back for the back foot. If you can't reach the back foot, like don't worry about it. Release the back foot if you have it. Swing this leg around. We're just gonna go right into the other side. Find your low lunge. Breathe deeply. Walking it back, find your hamstring stretch. Again, long spine, square hips, flex the toes. And as you're ready, rocking forward and back. Just kind of feeling out the range of motion here. Maybe trying to improve it. Maybe not. We'll meet forward, hands come to the inside and scooch that left foot over. You can stay right here. You can lower to forearm. You could turn your left foot out at an angle. You could go for that, start to twist through the belly, press this thigh away from you, and or reach for those back toes. Wherever you've chosen to be, take a deep breath or two. And then we're gonna get up and finally do our dancer pose. All right, release whatever you got going on and come up to standing. Dancer pose. Weight shifts into the right foot, soften the knee. Just like we did before, we're grabbing the left foot from the inside, thumbs up. Knees come in line with each other. Just like we did before, right? In bow pose, hand and foot kick into each other. and they start to lead the way up. You're still keeping your heart lifted here. You could have your hand on your heart or extended. And you're really trying to not diagonally point that knee out sideways. Really push. Maintain that lift in the heart and come down slow. Shake it out. We'll try it on the other side. And by the way, you can totally use balance, hand on the wall if you want to. Weight into the left foot. Grabbing the right foot from the inside, knees come back in line. Soften the standing leg. Decide what you want to do with your left arm. And then hand and foot kick into each other. Maintaining the lift of the heart. You will begin to tip the torso forward. That's okay. Keep the heart lifted. Hold and press, hold, hold, breathe. And we'll slowly come down. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, bring them to heart center. Take a moment to honor and appreciate what you have accomplished tonight and for your neighbors in class. Good job, guys. I'm gonna unmute.
So
if you
let me get rid of that
echo. Okay. If you want this class to continue, please donate if you can. Black Widow Yoga on Venmo. I also always love to hear from you guys in terms of what kind of moves you want to do or areas of the body you want to work. So feel free to let me know. And have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming.